Lewis Hamilton has put the pressure on Max Verstappen by saying Red Bull should be further ahead of Mercedes, given the problems of the Silver Arrows this season. Sir Lewis Hamilton has put the pressure on Max Verstappen by implying the Dutchman and Red Bull should be further ahead than Mercedes this season. Following Verstappen's dominant win at last Sunday's Mexico City Grand Prix, Hamilton trails his rival by 19 points in the title race, and is up against it as he seeks a record-breaking 8th world crown. The British driver desperately needs to make inroads into that gap at the Brazilian Grand Prix this weekend, but his hopes could yet be dealt a further blow before the race even begins in São Paulo. It's been widely reported that Hamilton, 36, will have to take a 5-place grid penalty in Interlagos as his team need to make a change on his internal combustion engine. Last month, he took a mandatory 10-place penalty at the Turkish Grand Prix after his team installed a new power unit in his car for the 4th time this season, but Mercedes' problems have seemingly continued after the team noted a drop in water pressure during the race in Mexico. Hamilton, however, thinks he and his team have overachieved in the circumstances, and hinted that Verstappen should be further ahead in the championship given Red Bull's pace. I think people underappreciate just how well we've done considering the pace they've had since day one, he told Sky Sports F1. The struggles we had in testing before the season, then just skimming by and winning the first race, and then we had a couple of races where I just don't think they optimized and probably made more mistakes than they would have liked to. I think we've done a pretty good job. But at the end of the day we've not been as fast as them most of the time. Despite achieving a front-row lockout in qualifying last weekend, Mercedes were notably slower than their rivals during the race, with Hamilton left hanging on to second place under pressure from Verstappen's teammate, Sergio Perez. And regardless of Hamilton's possible penalty, he faces a tough task this weekend at a venue which traditionally favors Red Bull, and where Verstappen, 24, won the last time a Grand Prix was held there in 2019. I think their pace was phenomenal in the last race, added Hamilton. They've had a supercar all year, they've had the fastest car. I think we've done as good as we could. We're pushing this weekend to see if we can squeeze any more out the car. Last time here they were incredibly strong, so we're anticipating they'll be very hard to beat this weekend. The sprint race returns in Brazil, a short Saturday race that will set the grid for the Grand Prix the following day. Hamilton was also downbeat about his chances in that, saying Red Bull's pace meant the format didn't play into the hands of Mercedes. Following the race at Interlagos, drivers will head to Qatar for the next Grand Prix 7 days later. The season then culminates next month with events in Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi.